Joe Biden doesn't have much going well for him, but he'll always have ultra MAGA. The president doubling down on his attacks on Republicans and Donald Trump, thinking it will be a saving grace in the midterms. Joe ruminating on his predecessor and coining his new nickname.
It's called, I call it the Ultra MAGA plan. And the Ultra MAGA Republicans, the MAGA Republicans are under my predecessor, the Great MAGA King. The deficit increased every single year he was president. The first year of my presidency, the first year, I reduced the deficit, literally reduced the deficit by $350 billion.
Oh,
first year.
Oh, thank
And if you think Ultra MAGA and MAGA King slogans are lame, well, that's because Biden is the guy who came up with it.
People have asked, where did he come up with Ultra MAGA? Where did he come up with, what did he call President Trump? Big MAGA? I don't know. The King of MAGA? This is all. He is having a good time being out, drawing the contrast, and I think you will see much more of that, and that I think will be helpful in sharpening for the public what the choices are.
So, Jesse, I think they just want him to take the blame for this. Nobody wants to touch this thing.
He and Hunter aren't spitballing nicknames from the MAGA King. I don't think so. You can't burn someone with King in the nickname.
Yes.
It's like calling me King Fox. Okay, I'll take it. I'm sure Scavino saw this and has like some vicious me now. And Michelob Ultra is what I think of when I hear Ultra. Beer's a good brand, and now I'm thirsty. I don't understand why Brandon gets these nicknames. This is a real reach. It's not in his natural. Remember the Neanderthal line? That kind of backfired. This is kind of backfiring. I don't get it. This was at a fundraiser for donors. Now, if you're donating to Biden at this point, you're an idiot, right? So you're going to pay $30,000 to hear him spout King MAGA? I'd want my money back. But he has to look tough. He has to play the blame game. He tried it with Putin, didn't work. He's now trying it with MAGA. But MAGA isn't all about Trump. Youngkin was MAGA without Trump, and he won. And many other candidates are going to do the same thing. The Senate Republicans aren't MAGA. We know the truth about that. So this thing's not going to ride, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
Well, Geraldo, Jen Psaki said that he's going out there trying to create a contrast. But the problem is, by comparing the present-day reality to the Trump past, Trump keeps looking better and better because you don't have inflation, you don't have all these horrible things that are happening right now.
In my state, in Ohio, Tim Ryan, the popular congressman, is running now against J.D. Vance. He doesn't want anything to do with Joe Biden. He doesn't want Joe Biden to come to the Buckeye State. They're trying to distance themselves. And in terms of using, to rank out someone, to smear someone or get a catchy slogan to put them down, as my wife says, when the debate's lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. So, it's...
According to your wife.
According to my wife, directed at me. I believe that Biden has such difficulty communicating that even his nicknames, his smears, are ineffective.
Yeah. Dagan, I've said this before, but I got to say it again. If the Republicans don't get like 50 or 60 seats and gain control of the House, Senate, then they blew it. Because I don't think a moment like this where somebody has really crapped the bed, to quote Amber Heard, like the Democrats. Sorry. I mean, like this, you can't find a worse situation for the Democrats than this situation.
You could not, because every time you say MAGA, the American people don't think about Donald Trump. They think about policy. And if you think about what was accomplished, wages between 2017 and 19 increased across all education levels, and the people who got the biggest raise didn't even have a high school diploma. Poverty hit record lows across the country, with the largest reductions coming for Hispanics, whites, and African Americans. I could go on and on about the policy of MAGA. Not the personality. And in terms of personality, all I can figure is that Joe Biden's trying to be as pathetic as possible, garner sympathy. He's going for the pity vote, which does work among some women, and I'm speaking for myself. But that's the only possible explanation for this specter of failure and desperation.
He's no Pete Davidson, I'll tell you that. Judge, when you look at a lot of the problems he's facing, crime, punishment, economy, you need certain perspectives that come with age, like wisdom and experience. This is bizarre because these are some of the areas that he should be, you know.
He's past wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, this is the man who promised to heal the nation. He was going to unify us. He was going to be the adult in the room. He comes in full throttle, trying to divide the country, getting rid of gas and oil, defunding, part of the defund movement, not trashing it, continued full throttle. He canceled today the leases for oil and gas, saying nobody's really interested. And, the only thing the Democratic Party is good for at this point is why and how were they so quick to get a bill before Congress on abortion? What was it? 24 hours, 48 hours, they got a bill. We've got all kinds of problems. This guy keeps talking about the deficit. You know what? Nobody cares about the deficit right now. The deficit they care about is what they're doing at their kitchen table. Can I buy food? Can I afford to buy gas? What am I going to do? All he does is trash people. That's like someone in high school who's just nobody even listens to them because they're full of hate. And today I heard on the news, 4 MS-13 gang members crossed the border and 2 convicted child predators, sex predators. And this guy's talking about, the MAGA King and how bad the world, how bad abortion is.
Yeah, I think their abortion bill is their baby formula.
Oh, but you know what? They got to learn to feed the babies and not the other.
Yes, that was my point.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.